Mr. President,
Senator from Tennessee.
we've been working for 5 years, for example, on simplifying the federal aid form that students fill out to go to college. 5 years. We have bipartisan support for it in the Senate and in the House. We've got families who, in my state, who will be discouraged from going to college because of this complex form. Why don't we pass it? Why don't we pass it? It's important to fund historically black colleges. That's true. They have funding for another year. So why don't we add to that the simplifying of the FAFSA form, which I would imagine 95% of the students in historically black college have to fill out every year. And then in addition to that, they have this verification process that they go through in the semester where somebody catches them telling the IRS one thing and the Department of Education another, and so they jerk their aid. They think that's important. I have the president of a community college in Memphis tells me he loses 1,500 students a year because of the burdensome nature of the application. Former Governor Bill Haslam of Tennessee, our state, has the highest percentage of students who fill out the FAFSA, the federal aid form for grants and loans. He says the single biggest impediment toward free tuition for 2 years of college in our state is the complex FAFSA. So I don't think it is unreasonable to say, while we help students at historically black colleges, why don't we help those same students by simplifying their FAFSA? Why don't we give them the short-term Pell Grant that Senator Kaine and Senator Portman and a dozen other senators, including the senator from Maryland, have introduced? Why don't we increase the size of the Pell Grant in a way that we agree in a bipartisan way? In other words, we don't have to discuss something until we find something we can't agree on. Why don't we take the things we do agree on and which are considered in the package that the senator just objected to and pass them? 29 senators, more Democrats than Republicans, have formed these bills. If we can add to that other pieces of legislation, let's do it. But let's take the permanent funding for historically black colleges, the simplification of the FAFSA, the short-term Pell Grants, the Pell Grants for prisoners. Let's pass that. As I said, we're not on vacation. We should be able to do this in the next few weeks, next few months. I mean, how long does it take us to pass something we already agree on? Shouldn't take us very long. So I'm disappointed that the senator has objected, and I hope to keep coming to the floor and asking for the Senate to approve it. And more importantly, I hope to keep working with the distinguished senator from Washington State in our Health, Education, and Labor Committee. We've often been able to work these matters out, even when they're contentious, and offer to the Senate a bipartisan package. I hope we can do that. I yield the floor.